Hello, good morning. Now I intend to record a game that is the opposite of the previous one, that is, that ultra-defensive era. Well, let's say it will be more aggressive. As I have already done the game, we are going to see the repetition. This is the scenario that I have chosen. This is the Cantabrian mountain range in the Iberian Peninsula, therefore, and the opponents would be the Romans, who are the ones I would take, and the Carthaginians, and the type of scenario, as you can see, the size is intermediate. Very well. Now you will see how the two factions are located initially. In a car. To read. Okay, look, this would be our position in a high chaos. There you have the stop, and this other one, well, if it's more or less the same, well, then we're going to put a high speed, because at the beginning you already know that everything it goes quite slowly, and as an observer, due to my actions, I like it. I normally like to place music, place the city, let's say, at one extreme. For example, we are going to put it on the extreme left. That's how private. Well, then the first thing I did was I have placed the 4 women that appear to collect these points, and I have sent the 4 men here to collect wood. I have built a resource store very well, and now, as it was dedicated, as I said the other time, what I am doing is taking groups of 5, although one on a pyre, and every time I have a group of 5, he built a garden more or less, until he got 78, depending on the circumstance. The garden is 7 or 8, that is, if I see that it is necessary, then I put more. It's even worth it. Nothing here. We're going to start building houses. As you can see at the beginning, the land, that is, the territory, is quite small, because what I want is for the orchards to be up there, then, and I try not to build anything up there on the top. Okay. Then what do I do? Well, I come to the periphery, it is, and I lose when building houses. The rider, by the way, look, I have it here, we have it, he is already exploring. He is exploring all the surroundings to see what we can find. Good, well, for example, here is a quarry of stone, that there is another track, and kind of if there is any border of the enemies, because sometimes the factions put them quite close to each other. Music. In this case, as you can see, we can see they are in opposite positions, of course, that really you know it when you have practically finished the game, because at first you are not going to take into account that we have a veiled map, except for what is our territory or what we have explored. What is the rider doing now? Sorry for what I said to the practice that I follow is that I am taking groups of 5 women. I even separated them with your names so that you did not choose the number far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women, and then a couple of men, and then again 5 women, 2 men, and so on. That way, let's say that I have a more exhaustive control of the situation. Well, as you can see, we already have some 233 deaths, and here we have women who, for the moment, while they wait for me to assign them an orchard, they are collecting metal, and here another 5 stone. Well, be careful. Now, when I can build a couple of parts, if I haven't done it before, it's because this little number that you see here, we can, it's very small, since we have little wood. The difference with the previous game is that now I am not going to build towers. I'm not going to build poured walls, and I will try to focus on the soldiers of the battering rams and the cavalry. And we will attack in public when the time comes. If we get towers, it is because we will have captured them. It is a totally different attitude from the one that the wing had in the previous games, so that you can see the different possibilities that there are tactics. And I already told you the other day that in reality, the artificial intelligence of the game usually attacks promptly. And as almost always, well, not always. But it depends on when you do it. Almost always we have more strength if they lose out. And they weaken little by little, and if you attack, you have to attack with more force among friends, and not all you do is weaken. Well then, how do you see here in the typical temple I am already taking out soldiers? I already have all the ones at the moment. I already have all the orchards I wanted. I think he still built another one because there is a time when the number is for food, because it is the lowest from everything he did. Now with the rider, well, I could tell him that here, although there is little litter around here today, they can be seen in some bugs are worth it. Well, because they are still attacking me. But it was being said. And in the end, I had put it here for you. It will notify us if they attack us from this battle. We are going to put a little more so that we can see what happens. Music. And here you have the satisfaction that a little people come. The enemy comes with few people, so it is very easy to get rid of them. We have managed to repel the attack. Well, to continue with the work for now, I am going to leave it here because the attack took place in this area. The feet that leave from the barracks, the commanders to this forest here, and those from here, well, there will come a time in which I will have to take them to collect used stone and metal. The metal is at 0 because it will be time to start getting metal. Here at the beginning, as you can see, because it is quite difficult to get land to build the houses. Well, that is what there is. This mound can being at a defensive level can be very good. So protecting the climb is, well, it is difficult for them to attack you. But on the other hand, they eat up a lot of ground. So at the beginning it is difficult to find a place to climb. We have already passed to the intermediate phase. Then we will begin to build the buildings that we need to move on to the urban phase. We are going to put it a little higher now that nothing extraordinary is happening. Here is another stone quarry. As you can see, we go further to the right. Here is a sheet of metal, and here there are two other waves to make. Good, Yusuf. We are already constructing the buildings, as I was telling you. A farmhouse here has a market, and in my advice, discover 2 markets, or a market and a port. The question is to be able to establish a commercial route that favors the economy. We already have here a market, and here we are building another one. So we will establish a commercial route between the two. This would be a forge, and I think that with this and with the temple that we have built here, we would already have to go to the urban phase. What happens is that at the moment we have the different stone and metal. Well, we are working on it. You see here, we are already accumulating people to get the stone and to get the market. The babies of the desire of others, they do not have to cry. Not now, until there is to talk. But I continue building houses for. Look here, I have a couple of soldiers I use. Music. Now when we go to the urban phase, we need a lot of metal and something other. Then, music. You already know that it is the commercial route. It is used to exchange resources and to make the economy, but at this moment pay attention well. Let's touch on this here. Let's say that what makes a type of resource prevail, which is all 25%. Privileged in that sense, but since the scarcest resource is usually metal, I only do it with the following. Music. Now we will return from what that they have requested, but music, the 642 to vulgar against so many doors. Music. Not even moved to these. It is enough to continue working better. Let's see, in principle here, there is a 25, 25, 25 and 25, since all the inmates are favored just as I can. Put there is a time as fast as possible by holding down the shift key. Music. If I hadn't done it here, you can see some little chips, then you can go manipulative so that you live such, let's say, the advantage of each of the buts. We have already passed to the urban phase. Well, now start building. Music. Well, for starters, we are going to get a room for uncle, stable nutrition. Do not forget the states. Cavalry is also important. Although in the case of the crazy Romans, only the third is the third. The third modality is cavalry. And from now on I am going to get only the infantry from the gloves of oblivion from the other three facts. Well, here, yes, we continue to bring soldiers and music. We continue to bring soldiers out of, let's say, pain normal of those who can work and fight, because the elite infantry can only present a blow now. Their forces, well, we already have here, then one other party, the more we already have two here. We are having the stable here, the national. There are 5 possible improvements. We will activate them all here, and today only all here I prefer this type of device is what the battering ram calls to do it. This above all, I see it quite slow. They have to ride. No, it is not as agile as the other, and this one, well, sometimes I have used them and sometimes they are called the music balls of fire. And remember to activate all these improvements, because that way their artifacts are much more powerful. Well, and here we will take out, you see here it makes the fortress. The heroes can come out in the theater of the Passion of the Romans, I think so. And what we are building now is marvelous. To remember that in this case there is a maximum population limit of 300, so it is activated. It is what is called the glorious expansion. There you have it, and now it is in a little. Because it is, but still, because there is a lack of food, because it increases. And now what are we going to do? But they are attacking me again. But apply 2000 with which to change forces tomorrow. Music. But what I was telling you, what I was going to tell you, we are going to expand the territory. So I bring a few here, and we are going to build a civic center. This is increased in this way. Remember that they can only be built in neutral territory. By the way, someone like in the case of Wonder, this has already turned green. In 2 minutes. I have put you here specifically because there is a metal mine that you know is normally the scarcest resource, and now I have the problem that I have very little food where, so what I do is take out 6 other women and put dreadlocks, and I say I traffic here. But at the moment I have not done it yet, but little more. Because to get all these letters from you to capture many adults for food also, obviously it is worth. Now we have expanded the territory, we are already coming here in a little while surely. And I will take them to that mine, and then I will put another resource store in this area. And now soon, when I consider that I have enough strength, music. But for now, so that the video does not take too long, we are going to speed up the video a little process. Women. Let alone the normal ones. Music. Money. They are all strong. Also something else, I don't know if you know the soldiers, these normally toes show them in battle and survive, gaining experience and effectiveness against more fighting. Yes, of course. Well, your Su is improved the art of fighting, on the other hand, decreases its effectiveness when it comes to collecting the resources. Each one therefore improves in the Lanus in the fight, and they are harmed when it comes to recognizing In the end, what is of interest, good to the appetite, what matters is to recognize the resources, but in the end what matters is that they're very powerful at the time. Applause. Since it is well thought out, music. I would say that I am already concentrating forces because I am going to. Like the often we have them from here to the hero. As you can see now, 3 or 4 battering rams. The forces I have at this moment. We are going to put a more normal solution. We must take into account that even if we are fighting, we must not neglect the following. From time to time, we must come here and put more soldiers in the production queue so that they can go out, and even if you are already at the top of the population, and the same thing happens with the cavalry. With the elephant battering rams. We are going to attack here. They have built a civic center in this position, and on top of that they are coming to me since it came with elephants. Here you have the status of the elephants. Music. First we are going to dedicate ourselves. Music, and now data. Music. Where it counts now, it is very easy to continue fighting and getting enemy buildings and territories. But we are expanding, we are getting applause, music. Well, if you wonder if they go alone, well, not just the 2 of them. Then here it is like from time to time they all move at the same time, because the creator of going to a certain building that I don't like that they diversify a lot because it's a bit delicate. It's better that they go in a group so they're stronger. But here we've also been able to get another one at the end of this tower. This tower still doesn't have any improvements. Here we have an enemy fortress because we will have to capture it. The tower is also possible. Now if you look here, we now have the civic center that was there at the beginning. However, these are attempts. We have to export the houses so that the clients can graze, otherwise they have the same difficulties because we have not already achieved the part of the fortress. The market is in the oven, achieved. Now we could establish a longer commercial route than the one we had before, but well, we no longer need it. When now what I was saying, so that the battering rams can pass to the foot to exploit. Those of us, the infantry and the cavalry, can pass without problems. But the battering rams, well, we have to go destroying the areas until we can reach the country. Music. I leave the center to yourself to order, and why. And we got these buildings previously, once we have captured the aura. Music. If we do it the other way around, the most normal thing is that automatic self-destructions are around. So it depends if you want to keep the buildings and then the specific car. Doesn't matter directly. Now I'm talking a lot. But this is almost done, finished. Music, we are not going to allow it. And this is almost. Because everything that is already seen. Applause. This will surely start, it turns out. That practically the game is already won, but they do not give it to you as one because there is still something left there. It can be a woman, it can be a merchant, it can be some building. To expedite this, what I usually do is choose the cavalry that are the fastest and make a raid to see where those remains can be. For the moment they are here, but inside nothing. You'll see, we're going to do it. The cavalry is saved. They included this hero who is also on horseback, and we started to make a raid. It's like I don't know where to go from. The areas that were going. We're looking to see if there could be a fire here. Applause. This is how we do it quickly. Love you. Don't know this, but you can see colored dots. For example, if you see a red dot, it's evident that there is something. On this side right now, you don't see any red dots. You can't see it because it's installed in the dark area, let's say. Let's see here now. Applause. I don't remember correctly, I think it's a port. That's in a pond here. Here you have it, you see that's what's left, and this clue, that welterweight, has already been completely revealed on the big map from a PK map. That means that we have won the game and some lobbies. And Milton has never been defeated, he lost all his fearsome. Good, and now you know. Well, if you don't know, I'll tell you. I have the habit of concentrating forces in the end and divide it by teams. To do, let's say, a review of what we have. Look at the amount of cavalry we have. 41. That's a specialized cavalry, it's elite. Here we have the halos, swordsmen, and here I'm going to leave money. Well, I don't know if they're all here because they're still coming. Here is the elite infantry, 61 sometimes in the past. And the outgoing thread that I think are 7 of them placed in that area. Here we have the hero who also rides a horse, and even all good those who are seen around with cars are the merchants that they go from market to market, and the women are up there. Nothing, we already have everything seen. And we already have everything seen. Well, let's see if I can think of any other game that might interest you, some other strategy, and we will record it according to we are going to see the score before serving. Well, there you have it. I do. And no, it hasn't taken me long. The duration of the game has been a total of 44 minutes 26 seconds. And here is the score per exploration. They seem to the mana explored nothing. The military score is much higher than mine, the economic one. And the total we have won without palliative. Okay, well, then let's go out and say goodbye until next time, guys. See you later.